Hi, freshmen. Today we're going to talk about your class signups for next year. So I'm just making a short video to give you instructions to make sure everybody signs up for the classes that they need and that the process is not too confusing as you look at it at home. This form should look kind of familiar. This is kind of like the form that you had last year. However, this year you start having a few more choices. So I'm going to go through and explain some of those to you. So first off, first semester, everyone will be in drafting. However, second semester, you can choose between woodshop and home ec as far as which one you'd like to take. So that's your first choice that you get to make. Another thing to note is that Spanish 1 is not required. We do not require any foreign language classes at our school. However, they're very, very highly recommended, especially if you're going to college. And typically all sophomores do take Spanish 1. So even though it's not required, I really recommend that you think about it. If you don't take Spanish this year, then you can't just hop into Spanish 2 next year. So it's kind of a foundation that we really do expect most people to take. World History, English 10 are required. And then you get to choose between geometry and basic geometry. So if you've taken Algebra 1 last year, most students will be going into geometry. If you've taken pre-algebra last year, you pretty much have an automatic pass to go into basic geometry. If you took Algebra 1 last year and think you want to be in basic geometry this year, then you need to talk to Miss Clark and get her permission, and she will be happy to talk with you about that. So most of your choices actually come in at the end of the school day. So as far as the fine arts requirement, you guys are required to have 2 years of fine arts credits. So most of you got at least 1 year of fine arts credits last year. That includes band, photography, drawing, drama, art, and advanced art. So if you took band last year, you have 1 credit, and you need to take 1 more year of either band or art or something else, fine arts related. If you took drama and photography and drama and drawing last year, then the recommended course of action is to take intro to art and advanced art this year. Even though those classes are available to other grades, it gives you time later in your schedule to get the science and math classes that you might need as a junior and a senior. So highly recommend taking those if you are not in band. And you'll notice again that if you want to be an honors choir, you're going to circle yes on the form right here. An honors choir meets Fridays, usually Fridays, 1 day a week during 7th period. So another interesting thing that you're allowed to take this year is psychology. Psychology is a 1-semester class offered 8th period, taught by Mr. Westerhoff, and psychology is all about the brain and how it works and what makes people do what they do. And so psychology is a class that we offer every other year for grades 10 through 12. So if you don't take it this year, you will have a chance to take it as a senior. And then next year, the choice will be sociology. So you can think about whether you're interested in something like that. Another graduation requirement that we want to make sure we meet is the PE requirement. So last year you all had health and 9th grade PE, and that gave you 1 year of PE credits. Some of you took weight training or advanced PE and got additional PE credits, but you need 2 years in total, including health. So most of you will need 1 more year of PE credits, and that can be met by taking weight training or taking PE 10 and then taking advanced PE next year. But we just have to make sure that's somehow met. If you play multiple sports, you usually can get an exemption from that, but that's something that you should ask about because you need to fill out a form, and if it absolutely won't fit in your schedule, we can do it that way. A lot of sports players do enjoy taking weight training anyway, so it doesn't come up too often, but if it does, we can work with you on that. I think that's everything that you guys need to know. If you find that you are filling out your schedule and it's got more than one study hall in it, we don't allow more than one study hall. So typically sophomores don't have more than one study hall anyway, so you might consider taking another class. But if you're not going to be taking another class, then you're going to need to sign up to be a teacher's assistant during one of those class periods. As far as turning this in, you are going to bring it with you when you come to drop off your books on June 10 through 12. And if you can't print it out, you may make a very neat list, and I'm going to show you that. You may make a very neat list with your name, the year you're going into, and the classes that you would like to take for each class period. You'll notice if you want to switch classes at semester that you should indicate that with a slash, showing drafting first semester and home ec second semester in that case, and then indicate whether you'd like to be an honors choir. So if you want to turn in your form this way, it's actually all right to do that. We ask that then you would email it to Mrs. Dreesen or write it on a piece of paper and have your parents sign it. If you email it to Mrs. Dreesen, please also email it to your parent at the same time so that Mrs. Dreesen knows that your parent is aware of what classes that you're signed up for, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, ask me or watch the video again until it makes sense. But Mrs. Dreesen would love to have these as soon as possible. June 11 is kind of the latest that we want to get them by. So anyway, you can get them to her before that is greatly appreciated. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the fall, and I hope that this video was very clear. And if not, please just send me a message on Teams and we'll talk about it till it makes sense for both of us. All right, thanks a lot, guys.